take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Hiroki. Oh, that's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. Important things are giving you peace.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Monday, August 22nd, 2022, 82222, for those of you who, put the date in the United States general month, day, year format. 82222. I don't know what it means. Probably nothing, but interesting nonetheless. Richie Poole first in the chat says 1 Vok, then says Survivor Season 1. Remember it well. Richard Hatch, Rudy, Jenna was my favorite. I wanted Kelly to win, but she didn't stand a chance against Hatch. Hatch went to jail for failing to pay taxes on his $1 million winnings. And he says, Survivor is still a great show. One of the few shows I still watch on network television. He said, Survivor tried different locations by going to places like Mexico, the Australian outback, and in the end, they settled on Fiji and the South China Sea for the vast majority of their seasons. And he finalizes with, Dear Bop, what strategy would you use to outwit, outplay, and outlast the other contestants in the ultimate game of Survivor? Well, I tell you what I'd do. I'd have the orphans come in and just wipe out all my enemies. The next morning, I'd be the only one left. So I win by default. The best way to win. It is the safest way. Well, thank you, Richie Poole, for I guess you are a resident Survivor expert. I was gonna talk about what I remembered about Survivor, and I still will, but might as well get into it. Survivor, for those of you who don't remember, though you guys all should remember, Survivor came out in the early summer of the year 2000. I think it was like May or so of 2000. And it really was the first network reality television show starring real people. It was also the last network reality show to star real people. And as such, As I really loved the first season of Survivor. I got one episode into the second season, turned it off, and never ever went back. To this day, I have not seen an incomplete episode of Survivor that wasn't the first season. And I didn't even attempt to ever watch an episode after that first episode of the second season. Um, the first season of Survivor was magic. It was special because those contestants, they didn't know what was going to become of their lives. They didn't know what it was going to be. And just let's remember what the world was like in May of 2000. We were still off the high of solving Y2K, right? Y2K happened December 1999, became January 2000. The planes didn't fall from the sky. The nuclear power plants didn't stop operating. We didn't have Chernobyls all over the world. Things seemed to work out fairly well, and people were happy. People were genuinely happy. Yeah, half the country was mad at the other half. Not really at the other half. They were mad at the president, and that's just the way life is. But, it didn't show. We didn't hate each other. We just disliked the politics. And the other side didn't like who the other side had in Congress. So it was all good because we had split government. Really nothing except really important stuff got through. And that's the way I like it. But, we were a happy society. Racism wasn't as bad as it is now, right? We could joke with each other. We could joke. There were jokes on TV. Chris Rock was doing some of his best stand-up he'd ever done. Dave Chappelle was just getting started, but nobody was complaining about what was being said. Chris Rock did his hilarious the Chris Rock show on HBO. You can't even play it anymore. HBO, who prides themselves on giving you access to their past collection, I don't even think you can get the Chris Rock show anymore on HBO. I was looking for it. This isn't about Andrew Dice Clay, but I don't know, Mama Frey. I don't. To my knowledge, Andrew Dice Clay didn't have an HBO series. No. No.
I just meant his kind of comedy.
Oh, his kind of comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably couldn't get away with that today. But I'm just saying, this was before 9/11, so we had an innocence amongst us. We were in a good position as a nation. We were happy. We weren't worried about what the next thing was that was going to happen. We weren't worried so much that the government was going to take away all our rights. Although, we were concerned about slippery slopes, and God knows they became slippery. But anyway, things were relatively good. And we got this peculiar show. And I remember hearing about it, how they were going to take these contestants, put them on a desert island, uninhabited island, and see what happens. And for the first time I watched it, there was this whole cross section of the country, of contestants, guys and girls, men, women, different jobs, different careers, and different backgrounds. And you had no idea who the winner was going to be. And people would talk about it at the water fountains. They would talk about it with their friends. We didn't have texting like we do now. We didn't have Facebook Messenger and Twitter, or even Facebook as we know it. We might have had MySpace, God only knows, but um, people would talk, usually in person, about it and speculate. And they had a website. Even though websites were not standard yet for television shows. But I remember that somebody who knew websites a little better than me at the time, though I would get there, uh, looked through their images folder, and because each week they would put an X over the contestant who was eliminated. So there were graphics with each contestant's photo, and then with each contestant's photo with the X over their face. Except somebody realized with like 4 weeks to go that there was no X over Richard Hatch's photo. And so people speculated that, hey, maybe he's the winner since there's no X. Of course, it was just rumor, and the Survivor people, they didn't comment on it. And everybody who played was under an NDA, so nobody could officially answer. But it turned out, yes, Richard Hatch was indeed the winner, and which was kind of strange because he was a fairly older guy, and you would have thought that with so many challenges and being able to do physical challenges being so important to surviving on the show, you would think, probably it's a younger person's game. But that first season, Richard Hatch won. And I'll be honest, I didn't even know he was gay until the end of the series. It didn't matter. It had no bearing. But I didn't know the man was gay until the show was over, and I think he came out or whatever. And that was surprising to me. Though it's made some of his decisions a little more. Oh, I get it now. To a point, if I recall, he didn't like to wear many clothes. He was often nude on the island. Obviously, nobody there to force anybody to wear clothes. But yeah. So Richard won, and I remember that final episode. They did the voting or whatever, because even they didn't know who technically won, I guess, until that last episode. And yeah, he won, and it was a big to-do, and everybody got their 15 minutes of fame. Everybody started to get pretty famous. And I realized then, I was like, well, shit. Now that from the second season, now everybody seen the first season, you're not going to get real people. You're not going to get real contestants. And I knew it, that they were all going to be people who just wanted the fame. Nobody who wanted to play the game. They all just wanted their 15 minutes of fame. And this was a way to get right to the top, to skip home or jail, go right to the top, not pass go, and get your 15 minutes of fame. And sure enough, when I tuned in for season 2, episode 1, every single person on the show was a fucking fake. I could tell they were fake. They weren't real. They were all acting. They were all actors. And I had zero fucks to give about any of them. Survivor season 1 was an experiment. It went well, but after that, all reality TV was a failure, because after Survivor season 1, everybody expected to get famous, or it was going to be their platform to get famous. And sure, you had Big Brother, you had Real World, you had all these other clones of Survivor from all the networks. There was writer strikes, so that only made more pushes for reality TV. In the entire history of reality TV, I don't think there was anything other than Survivor season 1. And I don't know why it's called reality TV, because it really isn't all that close to reality. But History Channel and the porn stars, as in a pawn shop, not PORN, but PAWN, porn stars. That is the only reality show I ever watched with any regularity, because that was fun. It's a fun show. Unlike every other reality show since Survivor, which has just been a huge, huge disappointment. Anyway, today, August 22nd, the year 2000, 22 years ago, season 1 of Survivor ended, and I remember watching it. I remember watching the season finale live. And man, what a difference 22 years makes. Although, to be honest, it feels like it's been even longer. It feels like it's 32 years. I was actually survived. I was actually surprised. It was only 22 years today. And yes, Richard Hatch did go to prison. I think he's out by now. I don't know how that happened, how the network didn't withhold the money they needed from his winnings to pay his taxes, as I'm sure they do that now for anyone. But I guess it was a growing experience. Nobody really, we were in uncharted waters. How would he win $1 million? He won $1 million for basically playing a game for 2 or 3 months. I mean, how do you go away from work? Like, yeah, I need to take, I don't know, 2 to 3 months off. I have no idea. I'm going on a game show. That's a new game show they've never tried before. And, not everybody was in a position, obviously, to be able to do that. But after season 1 aired, then I'm sure it would have been easier for people to take time off once people knew what the hell Survivor was. But I've hit a tangent. Not Ryan Johnson says hello on Qapla. Hail Karoga, hail Karoga. Not Ryan Johnson. John DeMarco says greetings, everyone. Greetings, John. Thank you again for the Jet Nerdy last night. Good times were had by all. 47 Yorktown says hello, young sir. Qapla, 47 Yorktown. Mike Richards says greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Wordle45 in chat. Qapla. Mike Richards. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says hello. Just lurking in the corner like the unwanted redheaded stepchild. Gorilla, you don't have to hide in the corner. And I have a gene for red hair somewhere in the deep within my DNA, because my beard before it went white was indeed mostly red, even though my head hair before it fell out was jet black, black like the hearts of Alex Kurtzman and the writers of Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard, and to a lesser extent, Strange New Worlds. Yes, that was like my hair, but my beard, surprisingly ginger. Again, an unfortunate, due to lack of technology and technological sophistication, the 1 or 2 photos Mamo Frey had taken of me with the mountain man beard that I grew after almost a year in the hospital, 6 months at least in ICU, without any type of shaving whatsoever. Lost to history, never to see. Hair was long, the beard was long.
And your father didn't tell me that they cutting it and shaving.
And apparently Dad O'Prey didn't tell Mom O'Prey the day they cut and shaved it. Yvette says, good evening, Bird and everyone. Good evening, Yvette. I hope you're doing well. John DeMarco says, Bird would shoot them in the back. It's the safest way, isn't it? Well, it is. If I was playing Survivor, it is the safest way. Mike Richards says, this too is true. Mr. CCDV, Qapla says, I was at Fort Hood, Texas. It was a fun show to watch. I stopped watching after the first season. Exactly. So did I. And he says, also, Y2K was a great New Year's Eve party. I dressed as Dracula. Well, very good for you, Mr. CCTV. I remember the Y2K New Year's Eve party, but it wasn't a costume party. It was just a good time at a restaurant, catered, they were doing food and dancing and whatnot out in Long Island. I forget the name of it. It was some little town in Long Island. Carlo Albanese says, hi, hope everyone is as well as can be. Thank you, Carlo. Hail, Caroga. Hail, Caroga. Hail, Carlo. Yvette says, I watched humanity come together, and now I'm watching humanity segregate itself again. Absolutely. We were so close in the months after Y2K. So close. Thomas Potts says Survivor was one of the dumbest shows ever. I would agree after the first season. Mr. CCDV says, I was back from Bosnia. I was spending most of my off hours at bars. I watched Survivor religiously, though. Mike Richards never watched it. Well, Mama Frey also says she didn't watch it. I thought when I first heard of it, it seemed interesting, and I stand by it. It was interesting. Yvette says, Richard Hatch, apologies from Battlestar Galactica. Apologies, Jesus autocorrect Apollo. Carlo Albanese says, you didn't know he was happy, but he was the winner. That is true. That is true. Mr. CCDV says, he was a big dude. I expect he is big again. Probably, yeah. He lost quite a bit of weight, if I remember, on that island. Yvette says, don't forget to lick the like, smash the sub, and send the shares flying. Thank you. Thank you, Yvette, for the reminder. Carlos says, the best reality TV at the moment is America. Best show for the past few years, and it's only getting more crazy and exciting. The ancient Chinese curse. May we live in interesting times. Thomas Potts says, Berto Prey, if you're watching a show called Porn Stars on History Channel, I don't think it's History Channel you are watching, and you purposely misspelled Porn Stars. I see, Thomas. Carlo Albanese says, Pornhub for all your porn needs. Yvette says, only reality show I loved was Scrap Heap Challenge. Not familiar with Scrap Heap Challenge, although Carlo Albanese is. Mr. CCDV says, all entertainers have to pay their own taxes. They are supposed to have been briefed on that. I'm sure Richard Hatch was. Carlos says, ginger from aftershave or just natural. Carlos says, I don't remember Y2K was 15 and drunk, so drunk. Mrs. CCDV, you say that about entertainers, and that's probably true. I have no reason to think it isn't. But I would say it was more set up like a game show, right? If you go on Jeopardy, not Nerdy, but actual Jeopardy, I would assume they do tax withholding. And especially if you go on a big show like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and you win the $1 million. I mean, I don't think they give you the check for the $1 million and you have to pay your own taxes. Maybe they do. I just assume, and I know what happens when I assume that they would take money out and just that the government would force them to do it. And it's better for them. It's better for the whales. It's better for you. You don't have to possibly get, risk not paying the taxes and get arrested. But again, that's just me making a educated guess. I don't know if there's a day-to-day or weekly or monthly stipend you get just for being on Survivor. But if there is, that money would be separate from the prize money. And I would suspect much less than the prize money.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Fauci donated $1.49. Dr. Fauci will be stepping down from his job in December, by the way. But Dr. Fauci getting kissing Dax. Thank you, Dr. Fauci. And says, hello, my friend. Thank you for the offer of being head of Karoga Medical System. After my announcement of retirement, I have decided to accept your offer. I look forward to bringing dignity to the Karoga Medical System like I did in the U.S. Dr. Fauci, you might want to double check or any offer letter you got. If it doesn't have my signature on it, it is in fact not valid, and I suspect you're getting punked, sir. And may I further suggest that it is in fact Joe Biden that's punking you, because there is no job for you in Karoga, not in the medical field anyway. If you want to be put in to be, I don't know, animal road removal, carcass removal from the road or something, we might have an opening there. It's very hard to get the young folk to want to clean up animal remains on the roads, but it's a necessary job. So if you're interested, send me your CV. Let's see. Carlos says that was a tough twister. And Carlo uses the mamo pray emoji and the hug. Carlos says so much historical TV to watch and not enough time. Absolutely. Mr. CCTV says you said do. Thomas Potts' Bird of Prey is the best reality show. Well, I mean, this isn't really a reality show, Thomas, but I appreciate being called the best, sure. Carlos is coming soon, the neural net, so you can instantly download all episode of everything ever made straight to your brain, so you don't actually have to watch, just remember it. That's very scary. That's like Total Recall. Carlos says, what happened to Zoidberg? It's a fake. There's roads in Karoga. There are roads in Karoga, yes, Carlo. Gorilla's Random Thought says, that asshole doesn't deserve a kissing Dax. Well, it's all random. It's all random. I cannot give nor take. Thomas says, road made of crushed bones are still roads. Carlos says, damn dyslexia, the crushed bones of our enemies. For our poor enemies and their lovely, lovely bones. Thomas Potts says orphans are enemies. No, the orphans are not the enemies. The orphans are not the enemies. Well, let's let's see. Let's try Wordle. See what we get for today. Did you do Wordle today, Mama Frey? She did. Let's try binge and see what it gets us. Because my uncle binged the first 2 seasons of For All Mankind, and he called me yesterday, thrilled with For All Mankind. He believed it's the greatest TV show he's seen in years. He was so happy. I told him to watch it. He's like, what else is out there? I was like, I really can't think of anything that's the same. I said, but I did tell him about Orville. He had never heard of the Orville. So I don't know. Well, he's a Star Trek fan. I don't know if he'll like Orville or not. But I gave him that advice. I knew he liked Yellowstone, so he knew about that. I really didn't have anything else to tell him that was as good as For All Mankind, but anyway. So we got an I and an E from binge, but in the wrong places. So let's see. Okay. Let's see. Well, that's probably the only vowels, but we don't know. Okay, vowel's not the first letter. So let's see. Let's see. P-L-I-T. No, it can't. E can't be the last letter. Quiet. Q-U-I-E-T. I mean, what's the chances of there being a Q and a U? But I guess we'll take our chances. Of course not. Well, at least we get a T in the right spot, and we get 2 more places where the I and the E are not. So, okay. So E comes before I, possibly. Unless I starts the word. And we know it ends in T. Free the net, LDG says he beat me. Gorilla says try fraud. It's not fraud. It's got an I and an E. Okay. Let's see. Invite. No, we know the T. We know the T. Insect. No, that's not enough. Not enough letters. And we know there's no end, god damn it. Okay. What other words start with I? Illicit? That's not. Is. Let's try S. Island. Island, obviously, but that's not big enough. And there's no yeah. Inset. Okay, well, we know it doesn't start with an I. And we know there's no N or S. Oh, damn it. Okay, so the I, okay, we know where the I is. The I has to be before the T. So, okay. So we know it ends in IT. So could it start with an E? It could. It doesn't have to start with a vowel, though. Well, it except for the fact that it already has an N. No, it's not that. Head, pedit, pendant. No, it's not long enough. Let's see. Pepit, payet, pecket, pellet, pellet. Do we have an L? Pellet. I don't. That's not how you spell L. Yeah. No. Velvet, mellet, sellet, zealot, delet, hellet, gellet, kellet, lellet, or refit, says Mike Richards. Possibly. R E. Right, we do have refit. It's not refit, but we know there's an R, and there's only one place the R can be now. We know there's an E, and we know the I is in the right spot, the E is in the right spot, the T is in the right spot, so we only have one letter. We only have one letter, the first letter. The first letter, I'm using an X, but otherwise it's E, R, I, T. So it's not W. No. Terret. It's not terret. It's not raret. It's not yaret. It's not oift. It's not parrot. Arret. No. It's derrit. Merit. 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 There it is. As in our own merit got us to this answer. Good for us. Merit. 5 chances. Felt like I could have done it a little better, but hey, a win is a win. Carlos says he's a beautiful ship. Lord Thoth says, hey, everyone. Welcome, Lord. Carlos says cheater. Mike Richards also said merit. Carlos says merit. And then he says turrets. Oh, people love when I say turrets. I honestly thought that's how you said the word. I thought it was turrets. I thought there was an N in it and an S. I guess there is an S. Turrets. I don't know. I still think there's an N. Turrets. It still sounds right to me. Carlo says Mike wins. That's fine. LDG says forge, merch, merit. And Thomas Bot says, Carlo, that's my line. Carlo says, you what? I'm a beautiful ship. Thanks, Bird. Yeah, I understand. She's a beautiful ship, says Carlo. What am I? Oh, the refit. Yes, the refit Enterprise is a beautiful ship. That is true. That is absolutely true. Looking at some news stories, I have dogs' eyes well up with tears and joy when reunited with their owners. How is that Why is this under relationships? Katie Hunt. It sounds like a fake name. A wagging tail, a loving lick, a playful jump, a heart-melting gaze. You know when your dog is happy to see you. Now, new research from Japanese scientists suggests that a dog's eyes may well up with tears of happiness when reunited with their owner after a period of absence. The tears may help cement the bond between human and dog, a relationship that goes back tens of thousands of years. And you know they're good scientists because they were already told that they're Japanese scientists. Takefumi Kikuchi, a professor at the Laboratory of Human-Animal Interaction and Reciprocity, or whatever, at Azabu University in Japan, decided to investigate dog tears when, after watching one of his two standard poodles when she had puppies 6 years ago, he noticed that her eyes got teary as she nursed her puppies. We found that dogs shed tears associated with positive emotions. Kikushu, who co-authored the research that published Monday in the journal Current Biology, said in a news release.
I have no clue.
Hello.
Hi, this is Tony Nunziato, chairman of the Queens Republican Party. There's an
Obviously, that was a robocall. We found the dog shed tears with positive emotions. We also made the discovery of oxytocin as a possible mechanism underlying it. It's relating to a hormone found in humans called love or maternal hormone. To investigate the link, Kikushu and his team measured the amount of tears among 18 dogs with a standard test known as the Schreimer tear test. It involved a paper strip placed inside the eyelids of the dog for a minute before and after they were reunited with their owners, following 5 to 7 hours of separation. Tear volume was evaluated by length of the wet part on the STT. The baseline was about 22 millimeters, and the reunion with the owner increased by 10%. They are paying people to measure the wet spot in a dog's eye, and they feel 10% is statistically useful information. Jesus Christ. Oh, there's still a lot of research, and let me guess, they suggest more research, which means more money. I love dogs as much as the next guy, but I don't think we need a study confirming dogs cry when they get reunited with their masters. NASA releases stunning new images of Jupiter from the Webb telescope. Well, where's this stunning new image? That's not particularly stunning. It looks very similar to all the other pictures of Jupiter we've ever seen, except with added lens flare, as is much of the case for today's images. It's not even orange. They could have at least colored it correctly. New web images of Jupiter highlight the planet's features, including turbulent great red spot. Here is depicted space with enhanced color in a composite image. So it's not even a single image. They had to composite it. Why is it looking at Jupiter? It's supposed to be looking at far off galaxies. We don't need any better pictures of Jupiter. Watch NASA's Artemis 1 SLS mega rocket moon launch for free with these live webcasts. I don't think they're actually going to the moon, though. NASA targets 13 landing sites on Moon's South Pole for human landing. Yeah, but that's years and years and years away. NASA just released the details of its free online broadcast of the mega rocket's upcoming moon mission. Oh, maybe it is. NASA's huge Artemis 1 rocket is counting down to a planned August 29th launch to the moon. When it does, you'll be able to watch the historic mission live online for free. The space agency will host a series of Artemis 1 webcasts this week and next, leading to uncrewed launch of NASA's first Space Launch System mega rocket from the Launch Pad 39B at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The briefing starts Monday, the 22nd of August. Hey, that's today. And runs through launch day and includes special guests like actors Chris Evans, Jack Black, and Keke Palmer. Who the fuck cares about actors? You can already see live views of Artemis 1 moon rocket atop its pad in the online live feed. The last time a rocket this powerful thundered off the Kennedy Space Center pad was back in 1973 when a Saturn V moon rocket carried Skylab into orbit, marking the end of the Apollo era. So this month's event should be quite a show. If you have $50, it doesn't even take off. Delayed like all NASA's rockets. Get delayed. According to NASA, the space agency will deliver comprehensive coverage of pre-launch, launch, and post-launch activities for the Artemis when it comes to the light the candle. The momentous uncrewed dress rehearsal around the moon will clear the trail for crewed moon-bound flight tests with 2024's Artemis 2 and an actual lunar landing by 2025 as part of Artemis 3. Those lucky enough to be joining the Artemis 1 spectacle in Florida will be treated to the shock and awe of 8.8 million pounds of thrust fighting gravity and propelling the sleek SLS rocket and Orion space capsule into the heavens. For the rest of us, NASA just released its schedule for free live stream broadcasts to watch the mission and safety and comfort of our own homes. The live event coverage will air on space.com, courtesy of NASA Television, the NASA mobile app, and the agency's official website, for pre-launch activities on Monday, August 22nd. For anxious toe tappers, the launch countdown starts Saturday, August 27th at 10:23 a.m. Eastern. Sure, it might not provide the same epic experience that earth-shuddering blast-off will offer, but it's the next best thing, and you don't have to worry about the heat, parking hassles, or huge crowds, or alligators that might eat you. On launch day, the live broadcast of festivities includes celebrity appearances by the aforementioned actors, as well as patriotic performance of the Star-Spangled Banner, courtesy of Josh Groban and Herbie Hancock. Then we'll hear America the Beautiful, played by the Philadelphia Orchestra, and cellist Yo-Yo Ma, conducted by Yannick Netzigam. Okay. Eric Pistorius has subscribed. Qapla, Eric, welcome to the channel. If you're watching, welcome to the stream. So this is, listen, I want to see the Artemis take off as much as the next guy, but they're way late. And I don't have much faith that they're going to get it this time. 2 photographers snapped out of this world photo of the moon. Right. It's the most, how 2 astrophotographers teamed up to capture a stellar image of the moon It looks like it's one image of the moon that they put through Photoshop. Right. Capturing over 200,000 shots to create a single image. Wow. Andrew McCarthy and Connor Mathern collaborated last November to push their photography skills to the limit. The finished product was posted online Saturday and is currently gaining lots of attention on Reddit. The two stargazers first connect over Reddit and Instagram, sharing and commenting on each other's work for over 3 or 4 years. After recognizing each other's strengths, they decided to team up for the photo shoot of Earth's moon. Wow. Okay. They spent the next 9 months bouncing ideas and edits off one another about the edits, using photo editing programs to produce the
Who's
best
been holding up
image
the damn
possible.
elevator?
YouTube bots with $1.49 super chat, and I figure, I bet it says something about to go to Dear Bop, and I think I will probably take their advice because, well, they're really just not all that much newsworthy stuff to talk about. Dear effing Bop, says the YouTube bots. Understood, YouTube bots. Let me just do a quick check. Spat polio outbreaks worldwide put scientists on alert. Vaccine-derived polio found in New York, London, wastewater, yeah. Brain cap appears to boost memory for at least 1 month. Brain stimulation improves short-term memory in older adults for a month, study finds. Teens journey to internet's darkness and back again. Is that a news article or a movie? Overlapping emergencies strains the nation's public health workforce and threaten critical vaccination campaigns. Polio and monkeypox demonstrate a heightened focus on viruses. Anyway, let's go ahead and go to Dear Bops. Flood warnings issued for Dallas County. Russia claims Ukraine, blah, blah, blah. Anthony Fauci, face of coronavirus response, to retire in December. It's a long way to go, Anthony. That's a long way to go. Okay, let's get to the Dear Bops. Oh, let's check out the chat. Refit. Carlos says cheater. Mike Richards says merit. Yeah, merit. Mike wins. Carlos says, you what? I'm a beautiful ship. Thanks, Bird. Yeah, I read that. Gorilla's Random Thoughts says, we want Dear Bop. LDG says turret, like Tourette's syndrome. Carlos says, Dear Bop. Carlos says, vote for Karoga, vote early, and vote often. Scotty R37, Qapla Scotty, says, this is what it sounds like when dogs cry. Carlo Albanese says, now in Technicolor. Carlos says, it's a test lunch. Test lunch. Scotty says, to the moon, Alice.
Captain's log, stardate 7414.1. Our best estimates place us some 4 hours from Earth.
And Wesley Crusher, Qapla Wesley, with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Wes. Says, want me to pick you up and take you and Mamo Prey to the rocket launch. Oh, Wes, that's very nice of you, but I can't go. Sassy would have to go too. In fact, Sassy had a doctor's visit today with the vet. The vet came over And Sassy had her first seizure in, I don't know, 6 months now, maybe longer, since the last time the vet was here. Yeah, Sassy had her first seizure in almost a year, since the last time the vet was here. Because Sassy really does not like the vet, Sassy does not like other people, and Sassy hates to not be around Mama Prey. So we can't go far, because if Sassy's not with us, Sassy will go crazy. Mr. CCDV says, I sure hope they've done all measurements in metric instead of a combination that results in a crash. Talking about NASA. And says, golly, NASA is streaming for free. I feel so privileged. I know. Carlos says it looks rusty. I believe he means the moon. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, greetings. Sorry I can't stay, just dropping by. Yes, Mama Prey.
I was going to something to Wesley, but he's leaving. So it's okay.
Wesley says, Bird of Prey, greetings. And he uses all the custom emojis. Thank you, Wes. Mr. CCDV says to shut up, Wesley. Carlo puts in a couple of tribbles. Mr. CCDV says, so there I was, thinking the moon was all gray cheese. Turns out there's some brown. Is that moldy cheese? Carlos says, so COVID ends in December. Cool, yeah. And Carlos says, damn dyslexia. I thought a test lunch sounds good. Carlo puts in the sassy emoji and a hug and says, I think she's afraid of the vet. She's afraid of anything that takes her away from Mama Prey. Okay. Dear Bop, let's see. Dear Bob, even though they made you the suburban Sasquatch, at least they gave you Big Jump. This is true. That was from Anti-Tracker's stream, where apparently the Sasquatch would yell, hello world, and son of a bitch. It's okay. Dear Bob, my English to New York dictionary is broken. What is a schmuck? A schmuck. A fool. Idiot. Maybe an asshole. A schmuck. You don't want to be the schmuck in the room. I tell you that it's not good. Yes, Mom will pray.
That's
Not quite true. Huh?
I said that is the way it's used.
It's the way it's used, but it's not technically what it means.
No.
Okay, what's the technical definition?
Penis.
It's a penis. Should have known. Should have known. So the moil, whatever is the schmuck, I guess. Damn dyslexia again, says Carlo. Although a test lunch, I read that. I think she's afraid of the vet, and Carlo is laughing. Dear Bob, does New York have a poop department like San Francisco, where you get on an app and ping the location of where someone shit on the sidewalk? If they do, how much of your tax money go towards that? I am not aware of any shit app. You can call 311 and report such a thing if you should see it, but there's no specific reporting or agency I'm aware of to take such reports. Dear Bob, correction to Friday saying opinions are like assholes. If you just relax, it won't hurt. I'm pretty sure I never said that. John DeMarco says you learn something new every day. Dear Bob, I'm writing a letter to an old friend I have known my entire life. How does this sound? Dear Penis, I don't think I like you anymore. You used to watch me shave. Now all you do is stare at the floor. Oh, dear penis, I don't like you anymore. It used to be you and me, a paper towel and a dirty magazine. That's all we needed to get by. Now it seems things have changed. I think you're the one to blame. Dear penis, I don't like you anymore. That's between you and your schmuck, apparently. Uh, that's those are not my words. I just read them. Mr. CCTV says, I learned schmuck means something totally different than I thought so. So Dick got it. Dear Bob, is it considered wrong when a Jehovah's Witness knocks on your door to answer the door with a bottle of whiskey in one hand, a cigarette in the other, completely nude with a huge strap on, and ask them if they're here for the orgy? No, that is your God-given right to do, and I encourage more people to answer the door that way, especially if it's a Jehovah's Witness, but more especially if it's anyone other than a Jehovah's Witness. Dear Bot, did you like the whole spirit animal guide thing on Star Trek Voyager? I did not care one way or the other. I mean, considering Chakotay was a Native American and they were set on using the fact that some Native Americans believe in spirit guides, animals, I guess it was fine, but I have no strong opinions one way or the other about it. Dear Bob, International Talk Like a Pirate Day, is Monday, September 19th. Well, when it gets closer, please remind me. Yar. I'm not going to remember that day. Orville Nation with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Orville Nation. And you get, it's a fake. It's a fake. Thank you, Orville. Dear Bob, oh. Excuse me. I know the camera's on. Yeah. The ego says, Dear Bob, I have recently been told by a former captive, I mean employee, that I should open a brewery in the dungeon. I mean commune. If I do this, I would need to get more captives. I mean employees. What do you think of opening a brewery? And do you have any suggestions of how to lure more employees so I could staff it? Then what would you suggest calling some of the beers? I thought of Ego's Brew, Dungeon Ale, Solitary Confinement IPA. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. You being a leader, wait, what? A leader? Why you got to use quotes? Of your own nation, truly you are more of a ruler. I know you must have loads of suggestions on how to make the expansion into the world of liqueurs. Your rival, the ego. Well, I do happen to have ideas on how to break in to the liquor industry, but it's only because I used to work in it. You should call your I don't know about dungeon ale. Is it made in the dungeon? Is it what's being done in the dungeon? I'm assuming the dungeon is where it ages in oak barrels. which is pretty common. I would call it something more personal, like this well last had cholera in 1955. You know, ale, and see how that sells. Something honest. And then if it doesn't sell, then you can come back and beat up the person most responsible for your failure as a company. And yeah, that'll keep them on their toes. 3 years ago today, we lost my dad, from Gary Casa. I'm so sorry to hear that, Gary. So sorry. John DeMarco says hello to PJ. Mr. CCDV says my spirit animal is a sperm whale. They have huge pricks, says Mr. CCDV. Carlo Albanese says, Sochi Moa, we are far, far away. Send help. And Carlo also says, Karogan Ale tastes better on the way out. I don't know how he'd know, but Dear Bop says, Dear Bop, not only did Richard Hatch win $1 million on Survivor, but a Pontiac Aztec. Did he win the Aztec? I think he did. Son of a bitch. The Aztec was always my my car I was going to get if the Jeep ever broke down and it was like dead on the side of the road somewhere. I was going to replace it with an Aztec. Now, that just won't be possible anymore. No. Dear Bob, the Orville is nothing like For All Mankind. One series is thrilling, intriguing, well written, well acting, amazing sci-fi television. The others is the Orville with Dick and Fark joke. I agree, it is not similar, but he asked what else was I watching, and so that was the first thing offhand. Dear Bob, do you need one of these? No, I don't. I don't know what it is, but I know I don't need it. It is a Biden pay more, live worse t-shirt. Not interested. No. Right to bear arms jet tag keychain. Jesus. Kronos is Qapla, Wordle pray, Mamo pray, and the Karogans oh pray. What did I miss? Not a lot, Kronos. Welcome to the stream. Daniel says maybe you should try some brew real beer just once. Not interested, but thank you. Thank you for the Biden suggestion, but no thanks. Dear Bob, how does a dog get monkeypox on its butt? It's a good question. I assume you've sent the answer in a separate message. Dear Bob, could it be said that one of the biggest jokes on mankind is that computers are now asking humans to prove they're not robots? Let's think about this. Computers are asking humans to prove they're not robots. Is that true? We should go to the Dear Bop. Is it true? Are computers asking? Yeah, I guess it is true. Prove you're not a robot. Yeah, click on pictures of the bicycle to prove you're a human being. Yeah, I would say it's true. LDG says, whoops, wrong brand. Chrono says, eat the bugs like the elitoids want you to. Lol, and LDG is laughing. Number one says, are you a bot, Bird of Prey? I am not a bot. Welcome, number one. Chrono says, I'm a biological beep bop. A beep booga. Wow. Good for you, Chronos. Dear Bop, why is anti-trekker stream? I don't know. Why did anti-trekker stream? Dear Bop, hi Bird, just FYI, I learned a huge lesson. I wanted to make sure to spread the word. If you're ever thinking of doing a search on YouTube for nude yoga, do it in an incognito mode to save yourself from being suggested them like crazy after. Very annoying and politically embarrassing. Wow. Thank you, mystery stranger. Number one says, are you a bot, Bird of Prey? Carlo says, we are training in AI for all possible questions we answer to prove we are not a robot. And Chronos says, Bird of Prey, what's the last name of your search count? Of Sarah Connor. What is your last name, Sarah Connor? It's a good question. What would I name Sarah Connor? What does she call herself after she's resurrected? I don't know. Dear Bob, here are the details. Dear Bob, I'm having confused erection after watching first episode of She-Hulk. I don't know if it's my erection, or I don't know if my confusion comes from the fact that Hulk hating men, and that from her, I transformative into She-Hulk. Please help. Wow. I have no idea how to answer that one. Moving on. Dear Bob, whenever life gets you down, keeps you wearing a frown, and the gravy train, in the gravy train, a frown. And wait. Ever since, whenever life gets you down, keeps you wearing a frown, and the gravy train has left you behind. Another gravity train left you behind. And when you're all out of hope, down at the end of your rope, and nobody's there to throw you a line, if you ever get so low that you don't know how to catch me, way to go. Come and take a walk in my shoes. Come and knock on my door. Come and take a walk in my shoes. Come on, take a walk in my shoes, where the laughs are his and hers. Three's company. No. If you ever get so low that you don't know which way to go, come take a walk in my shoes. Never worry about a thing. Got the shoes to a string. Because I want to get the cure for all my blues, I take a look at my employee pals. I take a look at, wow. I got the cure for all my blues. I take a look at my enormous penis and my troubles start a melting. Oh, only things are so solved so easily. Because I've got the cure for my country woes. Because I take a look at my enormous penis and troubles start a million melting away. I take a look at my blah, blah, blah. Happy times are a coming to say I got a sing and dance. I glanced in my pants. I'm frickin' hung like a shiny day. Take a look at this enormous pee. And remember, it's all going away. Dear Bop, is including Chakotay on Voyager an example of series going native? No, it is not. Dear Bop, hashtag renew the Orville with better right. Dear Bop, here are the details. Dear Bop, I don't know what you're about, but I was disappointed they're not all making 12-year-old rulers any longer. I don't know what it's about. I was disappointed they're not making 12 inches rulers any longer. You mean not making 12-inch rulers? What you talking about? Dear Bob, I told Ego yesterday that making booze at home in a dungeon is a bad idea since Mr. CCTV will drink all the profits. Dear Bob, here's the details. Stop, Bob. I told Ego yesterday that making booze at home is in no way a dungeon. It's a bad ego. It's a bad idiot since Mr. CCTV will drink all people under the table. Back to the question at hand. My guess is they're all still mannequins. And the question is why? And it's pretty obvious. They're dead at night. Uh, Okay. That is it for the Dear Bops. Let's check the news one more time. Food issue for Dallas County. Russia claimed Ukraine killed Daria. Anthony Fauci faces months. Oh my God. 3 people shot in Midtown Atlanta, and police are trying for a suspect. Arkansas police beating. Judge warns this. And we made full circle. Jason Webb telescope captures surreal images of Jupiter's auroras. Interesting. Okay. Well, goodbye to that. That unnecessary piece of technology. Okay. Let me put these two donations away while I'm here. JUOT donations. Okay. Carlos says, oh my God. Chrono says, always look at the bright side of life. Uh, Carlo says, two E's. I don't think you had to eat the entire animal, regardless of what you might think about it. Although, if you do it wrong, you're probably just making very expensive bird seed. Um, anyway, what do we got? Carlos says that twice the song about your thingy bird. Chrono says, always look on the bright side of life. I'm sure in our head the musical is going. Always look on the bright side of life. Um, Chrono says cheese. Carlos says hail to the ale. Darth Maul says, how would one look on the bright side of life if children and dogs are getting the monkey count? Yitzi says, more bitches. More like Dear Dom. Wow. Carlos says, hey, Yitzi. And somebody else says, hey, Maul. I'm going to write, hail Karoga. And it's all over. Chrono says, hey, Yitza basically says back. Mr. CCTV says, nighttime is the river time, baby. Chrono says, maybe the ads are for children being raised by dogs. Carlo says, maybe the kids running is being raised by dogs. Chrono says, maybe the kids are being raised by dogs. Chrono says, well, he gave that explanation. Jedi Bill is in the house. Oh, I'm sorry, that's John DeMarco. Welcome again, John. Steen puts a link to Dean's version of the avatar. Hello. Carlos says, what's the difference between the cross and mad? Just different shows. Carlos. Carlos says, Mr. CCTV, I bet you put on different is baseball and cans are no. Yet this is Mr. CCTV. Just saw the film about killer penises, and that I started tuning in just before. I guess he means anti-tracker. Chrono says, "Don't forget to milk. Don't forget me. I promise. Don't forget. MILF laughter is best." Like, Homefront says more than title noises. More noises are insane. Kronos has good pictures there. Cross is annoyed, says Kronos. Mr. CCDV says, yeah, we're all pricks here. Carlos says, those extra words give you everything you might need. Carlo says, who is insanely what did he say? Who is says, hope everyone has had a great day night. Miss the soup, enjoy a good brew, and hail Caroga. Thank you, Carlo. Carlo says Carlo is running away. Carlo says, what? Carlo says, it's just like another Molly Python song. John DeMarco says, where about 50% change the words in Biden's reach of each comment. Carlos says, default. A rumor when Jerry Rodamy is playing Resolute Germ says, hello all. Hello, Resolute. John DeMarco says, I think you need some sleep, Bird. Yeah, I'm getting a bit tired. You can, I'm dozing. Let's wrap this up for today. Thank you all for coming. I know it wasn't a particularly long stream, but I had some problems with my mask last night, so I didn't get the sleep I like to have. Mama Pray had to wake me quite a few times because it was making a ton of noises, and I'm feeling it today. I'm feeling it now. I got to get ready for physical therapy, so I'm going to call it a day. Thank you all for coming. Tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm not sure what, probably we're doing some poker at some point tomorrow. Wednesday is, of course, DS9 Wednesday. Thursday will be Star Trek Lower Decks review coming out. And then Friday, we're back to bed life. And then it starts all over again. So take care all. Qapla. I don't have to go home, but don't stay here. LDG says poker later, Bird. I'm probably down for it, LDG, but probably not till 8 o'clock because that's when physical therapy will be over. If it ends sooner, I'll let you know. If we can start it around 8 p.m., that's good. It's not too late. It's not too early. But you can always start before that. I mean, don't wait to 8 on my account. LDG puts in the link to the underground. Check it out. If you need some place to hang out, if there's no one else streaming, it's a good place to go. Otherwise, check out for anyone else who might be streaming, and be sure to hang out with them. Qapla all again. Bird out. But wait, there is more. The video might be over, but there's more fun to be had. First, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have clicked that bell icon to get notifications of new videos in your YouTube feed. Share this video on social media to help this channel fight the algorithm that favors big media. Also check out www.birdoprey5.com for links to my other channels, various social media accounts, merch store, Dear Bop, affiliate links, and all your Birdo Prey 5 needs. At the main Birdo Prey 5 YouTube channel, you can find all sorts of live streams and unlisted videos, YouTube membership options, and a community section with polls and updates on the channel. On the secondary channel, Birdo Prey 5X, you can find overflow content that doesn't always make the main channel. Subscribe to both channels, please. Thanks for watching. Remember, I stream almost every day. This is Birdo Prey 5 saying goodbye, world. Until next time. P.S. Hail Sassy, hail Charlie, and of course, hail Kuroga.